Well, Jared, it's nice to spend some time with you. I'd like to get your perspective on some issues in education and how you've approached them as a district, and also your contemporaries in other districts around the U.S. And what you're talking about. And one would be around funding and alternative ways to bring in resources and funding to your district. I'm finding that districts are being quite progressive in looking at public-private partnerships, corporate America, in ways that they probably didn't think about it when you and I were in school. How are you looking at alternative ways to provide resources and funding to your district?
Well, we look at grants, and we've participated and applied for many grants, but we're fortunate in our community. We have a Harvest Foundation, which provides grant funding for professional development, which has been powerful because without it, we would have lost a lot of that opportunity with the downturn over the last several years. But we have also applied for innovation grants that we've earned. We've been able to do some projects with funding from there. We've also worked on sending a clear message to our community on what our needs are and what we'd like to focus on, and that has also helped us get some additional funding for college career readiness initiatives in our school division.
Talk about that communication with the community. Have you seen that there is a growing awareness from community members and understanding the needs of a district, and that we have to look at different ways to do it than what we were used to or we were comfortable with in the past? How much of that puts you in a position of a marketer?
Yeah, it does. And you have to brand, you have to learn to do a lot of marketing, but we have sent the message that college career readiness and citizenship readiness is so important in our school division, not just test scores. So we have spent time working on changing that paradigm, and we've also worked closely with employers in our community to get them on board with supporting our work, because when the test scores come out, we instantly get feedback if they're not what our community expects them to be. But we've really changed the conversation about what that looks like, and that's really led to a great partnership with economic development in our community, a partnership with the community college where they offer programs for our students to prepare them for careers in our community, and it's really changed the conversation about what success looks like.
I'm glad you brought that part up about communicating out the results or the achievement of students in a more personalized way. We're seeing that students are obviously taking ownership of their learning, even at the youngest levels, and that it seems that all of us as adults are charged now with how to effectively communicate that out, and not just on a periodic basis, but on even a day-to-day basis, that student learning. How are you seeing that progress where we're successfully integrating in technology to let parents and families know, and also give teachers valuable information and raise the engagement of that student?
Yeah, you have to remember technology is just a tool. You can have powerful learning experiences with or without technology, so the way we've approached technology is through effective teaching and learning first. And then we've been able to use that technology to really enhance the educational experience. But for us in Henry County, we focus on the 4 C's: critical thinking, creative thinking, collaboration, and communication. And technology is a game changer in all of those areas. So our students use that as a tool moving forward. And we have a large one-to-one iPad initiative in our school division, but it's not about the iPads. It's about the teaching and learning that happens in the classroom. So we have to spend time sending that message, otherwise it looks like we're just spending a lot of money on a really cool device.
It looks good in a press release, right?
You're right.
The community.
You're right. So the way that we tell that story is through students and teachers doing great work using technology, and by highlighting that every time we get a chance, and through telling stories. And that's really the way that we get our message out.
Talk with us a little bit about the technology efforts and I guess evaluating solutions that are more suited for or better suited for K-8, the younger students. I'm finding that a lot of folks are starting to say, well, we could do a better job of, it's easy to focus on the higher grades in technology, but younger students are ready, and it seems like the technology community is getting better at understanding those individual needs of the students and the teachers at those levels.
We actually started with the younger grades.
You did?
We actually started with 3rd grade with our one-to-one initiative, because what that has done for us is it's really changed the conversation around personalization and differentiation, because some of those technology tools really help meet students where they are and help provide them what they need at different points in time, where the teacher was doing all that by herself or himself trying to work it all out. Now the technology makes it easier. So we started there, but what the downside of that is you have to keep providing that technology as the students
you can't stop at third grade,
school,
right? Yeah.
Right. So we have to keep adding to that as they move through. But you always have to have a clear vision of how you want to see the technology being used, and making sure that, I always say the easiest thing is to buy the technology. A lot of times people don't agree with that because it costs so much, but that's really the easiest thing to do. The hard work is how do you ensure that it's being used the way that you envisioned it being used in the classroom. So that's where we've spent a lot of our time, making sure that we are using technology to enhance the educational experience for students.
Jared, let's close with this. When you close down at night and you think about just your role and the responsibility placed upon your shoulders and your team and what you're doing for your community, what gives you solace and also excites you about the path that you're on? I think a lot of people in the narrative of education is misguided. They don't know the full complexity of the amazing people and efforts. What is it for you?
Well, it's the passion. It's the reason I got into this field, to change lives and to make learning exciting for students. School should be an exciting experience. Students should be engaged. It should be an awakening when they go to school, and that's what I'm all about, making that educational experience one that they're excited about, they don't want to miss. I have students in some of our programs we have now that don't want to be absent from school, and they FaceTime or Skype in on days when they have a fever and they have to stay home. So when you see those kinds of things happening, then you know you're onto something, that you really are getting students excited about relevant real-world applications, and school should be exciting. And I think that we all need to work to make that happen for our students rather than just focusing on test scores and memorization. So that gets me excited because we're doing great things in our school division to get students excited about learning, and they're doing work that matters, and that gets me excited every day.
Work that matters with purpose.
Exactly.